Welcome back for another installment of Marriage Matters Monday. Hopefully, over the last week, you spent time just thinking about how men and women communicate differently. Yes. And this week, we want to introduce to you the idea of the love tank and the crazy cycle. See, gentlemen, what I want you to realize is that God made men and women differently. For your wife, imagine that there's this tank and it's filled with love. Every time you do something loving, you're making deposits. When you say something loving, you're making deposits. And that tank is connected to your wife by means of an air hose. And she breathes in love like she breathes in oxygen. But now, ever so often, as us guys do, you know what, not even thinking about it, we might wind up standing on her air hose like a big old insensitive gorilla. But you know, what's your wife gonna do?
I'm not gonna say I'll just suffocate and die. No, I'm gonna knock him off my air hose.
What did I do? I mean, most of the time, that's usually how it goes down. You're completely unaware of what you have done and that it's unloving in the eyes and in the ears of your wife.
Okay, so let's consider the flip side of that, and that would be the respect tank. In the same way that women perceive everything through the eyes and lenses of love, for men, that happens through the lens of respect. And so you have to imagine that there is a tank of respect, and connected from that tank to your spouse is the respect air hose. And he's breathing respect in like he needs oxygen. It's that significant for him. Well, what happens is I decide to go have a little picnic on his air hose. And next thing you know, he's responding like that, and...
You know what? I'm not gonna be here saying, oh, I'm just gonna suffocate and die. No, I'm gonna do something like,
yeah, and he walks off and heads to things like the man cave, as you have heard it called. Why? Because he doesn't want to pick a fight. And this is really what we would call the crazy cycle. You see, for women, when we feel unloved, we're going to react in ways that are disrespectful.
And for us guys, when we feel disrespected, we're going to react in ways that are unloving.
And so we call this the crazy cycle. And what happens is when I'm feeling unloved, I'm reacting defensively because, see, I want to motivate my man to love me more.
And on the flip side of that, when I'm feeling that Elizabeth has been disrespectful to me, I want to increase my feelings of respect, and I'm going to respond in ways that are quite unloving.
And again, it's the crazy cycle, and so many couples find themselves feeling trapped on this vicious cycle, and they're wondering, how in the world do we get off? That is assuming they actually know they're on it.
That's right. So what we want for you this week is to look at those places of friction in your relationship and look at it in terms of feeling unloved or disrespected. And you know what? Let us know in the comments what you discovered. And you know what? That will help us to further develop this video series where we can talk specifically about situations, not using your name or where you are, but just things that we as husbands and wives face that throw us onto the crazy cycle, because we want you to be able to recognize it. We want you to be able to get off of that.
Oh yes. Join us back here next week for Marriage Matters Monday.